Hello and welcome to another top-up design. Today I'm looking further into the calibration of the machine, as the distance one doesn't seem to work very well. So once you've done your sensor calibration, you might want to try this. It will involve some of the, you might want some scrap vinyl or card or sticker paper, anything really that you can cut and chuck away. Okay, let's have a look. I'm a bit lost there with my shortcut buttons. Alright, so yeah, this is some vinyl I have. It does not weed at all. You can see here that it's just awful. So I'm going to use that scrap today to do it. Right, let's get the software. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Right, that's the right one. Bit lost today. Need a coffee or two, I think. So I've just randomly put some shapes on here. So I do know the distance of them. If I zoom in. So you want set distances. So I've done a width of 200, height of that. This one here, I've done a odd round. With again set distance different to that one. This one here I've done more vertical with set distances. Now circles are a good one to see if your machine calibration on your distance that it should travel compared to how far it does travel. This is the best one to do. The one that the Silhouette software uses for you to do it with the AB12 marks. Now that's done when it's not under load. So I think this would be a better way of doing it because the machine's under load. If you've ever done any print and cut, you'll know that you'll start off in the top left here and it's good and it drifts and drifts, and then by the time you get to your bottom one down here or down here even, that it's normally drifted out further and further the further down and the further across the page it gets. Now this is down to the stepper motors inside the machine. They're given a certain distance by the pulses. It works in pulses and steps. I won't complicate it too much. So when it travels 200 mil, let's say it's 200 steps, and it's travelling 201 mil, like mine's doing, then you need to lower the amount of steps down to think that that's 200 mil. So it might be 199.8 steps to get 200 mil. All machines are different. None of them are exactly the same. So your settings might work perfect for your machine set on that. You go around somebody else's and it'll be slightly different. Now that's down to mechanical friction and other stuff involved. Even down to the tensioning of your belts and stuff. So it is good to do this once in a while. Same as setting your sensor and stuff. So let's go back to this. I've also randomly done these. Now, you might want to do this several times. Right, so you can just duplicate this and move it down. I'd cut over the top of it a couple of times because I'm quite tight. Yeah. So when you go into send, I've already set it out. Just set your settings to what you normally have for the scrap material you're using. Come down here, right click this, go to distance adjust. It'll load it up. It can take a while. Mine's a bit slow when I'm recording at the same time. Now if you look over here, it travels 200 millimeters. That's A to B and 1 to 2. So that one there is 1 to 2. So that adjusts the height. Distance A to B travels the width. Circles are a dead giveaway because you won't have circles, you'll have egg-shaped things. If you get in egg shapes, your machine's drastically out. Mine's not too bad, but I notice even with mine it goes far away. So this is set at 0.57, this one's set at 0.5. I'm going to adjust that soon. Oh, you have to exit this, don't you? So that's stuff I was working on before. It's for a cake person, I know. So this is already cut here, so I'm going to go to the machine. There we go, it's on the machine. Get yourself a ruler. I'm not sure how good this camera is in this light. So, can you see that? Yeah, you can see the circles just about. But anyway, I measure it with my ruler. Mine's 201 mil when it should be 200 mil. So I'm going to adjust it down again. I'm the nightmare with shortcuts today. So this one here should be 200 mil and it's measuring 201. I'm now going to measure that one, which should be 175. I imagine it's going to be slightly bigger. Yeah, it's a mil bigger, and then the one next to it measures about 75.5, and it should be 75. So mine on the horizontal plane, that way, x-axis is what I'd normally call it, is a mil out over 200, and it's half a mil out over 75, so it's about half a mil per 100. So I'm going to slide this down this way to the left. I always thought it was the other way, but it turns out that it's not. Right, I'm going to get it to cut the test lines regardless. They're so hit and miss, it's unbelievable. I'm not even going to measure them, I've just done that so it saves it. And then I'm going to go back out here. I don't know why it goes to that designer, not the one I was working on. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? And I'm going to recut it over the top of where it's already cut. Then I'm going to measure it again. This is quite time consuming, so it may take an hour or so. So it's going to cut it all again, and then I'm going to measure it. So keep doing this, and keep doing it, and adjust the slide arrows on your software, however you need them to be, until you get it right. And it will eventually cut beautifully. Once again, I'm doing this like this because it's under load while it's cutting, so it's actually putting pressure onto it and doing it. And another thing I've noticed about these pros is these rollers here are about 3mm off anything. So with this vinyl here, I can't put it in without the mat because it just rips and flexes everywhere, because these things don't do anything at all. Literally nothing. Nothing at all. Waste of time. Very annoying. Right, let's go back to my software, which is that one. Keep forgetting what shortcut keys are programmed in. So I'm going to quickly have a look and remeasure them. Sorry about this, but that has moved it probably less than 0.5 mm. So we go back in again. I think I'm going to move it down to 197 and cut again, because that is actually ridiculous, the amount that's moved it. It certainly hasn't moved it 1 mil. I'll go to 197. Shame you can't type this in, it'd be a lot faster. Anyway, yeah. That's going to annoy me now, that's worse than being at the petrol pump. I cut the test lines. I'm not going to measure these again, I just do it for the sake of doing it. to come out of this. I'm just working on the x-axis to start with. I don't want to start getting confused and do it, so we'll just do it on this one. I'm going to cut over this several times until I think it's about right. I should click the message, stop it telling me that, but sometimes it tells you to load your mat differently, and your material on your mat sometimes goes where it is, as you can see on the screen, slightly to the right. Other times it tells you to put it all the way to the left. On the Pro there's no sticky all the way to the left, so we don't do it. Should speed it up. Yeah, so it's doing that one. I'm just going to eyeball it while it's still cutting, see if it's done anything. And quickly measure. Yeah, see, it's completely moved. It's not even cutting in the same spot as it started with, so that's not very good because it's not even taking me a mat out. Right, it is closer. It is closer. But it's not hard to measure now that I think I'm going to have to cut that and try it again. So I'm going to measure the height now. As you can see the circles, it's drifted over and over every time I've cut it. Shouldn't do that, but that's probably because I've done this distance cuts here and here, and that's really hit and miss every time you do that using the software, believe me. Yeah, it's still a little bit out. So I'm going to load this back in. That's one good thing about the Pro, you can hit the load button and then line it up after. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to cheat a bit here really. Just going to move this stuff down. To that, and then I'm going to just send it again. And then I'm going to measure it, and I'm going to keep doing this and keep doing it and keep doing it until they measure what they say on the screen. You know you've got it once the circles are bang on. Once you've got the circles cutting in a nice circle, you know that you're pretty much there, and it shouldn't drift when you do print and cut. I say shouldn't, your sensor might need recalibrating. And like I've read on some forums, you see where my mat's hanging over here? And then obviously it's rubbing on the table back here. Here, mat might be rubbing. If there's little scratches or bits of material stuck here, apparently that can make a difference and cause it to drift if it just catches the mat and jogs it like that a little bit. Apparently that can send it out as well. I don't know, I've not trialled it, but apparently it can. So I'm going to measure this now, not in inches, I work in centimetres. So that has gone the other way. So I knew I was having a moment when I was doing it earlier. So mine now measures, because I've told it that it's cutting 201 at 197, when it is now up to 203. Don't know if the camera picks it up. So I'm now going to slide this completely the other way. 2025. And cut the test lines, and now I'm going to run over it again. So that one's going to bring up the bloody thing again. That is annoying, that is. I would close it down, but I'm going to print and cut them later on once I've got this in. So I'm just going to send it over the top. In fact, yeah, send it over the top of where I cut it last time and then remeasure it. Like I said, this is time consuming. If you get it right, it will help your machine. Should put me the monitor in and then you wouldn't have to see me doing that. Right, that is very hard to measure. This one. Okay, it's gone 2 millimeters the other way, so I know I'm not far off now. So back into that. As I said, you can just do it using their tool, but it's not under load. You're not going to get a true accurate result. I'm going to go for 2015. And as I say, I'm just working on the x-axis, the width direction, A and B. Once I've got this dialed in and right, I will work on 1 to 2. I'm going to leave it now with the video because it's dragging on a bit long. But if you keep doing this, and then go back and print this off, and then if you do your sensor calibration, alright, if you don't know how to do this, I've got quite a long video on this, but start with 1, do it, adjust it, it adjusts on a different page on that one. So on that one, as you can see, I've adjusted it 1/4 mil that way and putting 2.5 that way. Adjust it, go to the next one, try and cut it that one. It's better to work on the bottom ones because you don't have to unload your mat, you can just send it straight back over the same one. And it will do it, but by doing this, you'll dial your sensor in to cut bang on the lines, but every time you redo a fresh one, it'll be bang on the lines because it's reading the registration marks every time. Whereas when you go into your design and do it this method here, because it's doing left, right, down, up, down, and then lifting up, then travelling, and then doing another cut, on your print and cut, it'll use the registration marks here, here, and then here, and then it'll start cutting. Whereas with your actual calibration of your sensor, it'll only do that one, then it'll cut. Then when you reset it to the next one, it'll read it and then it'll cut. So it's only good to cut that line once you calibrate your sensor. That's why you need to do your distance adjusting and then use this method to measure it. That's about it for today. I hope this video helps you. Please leave any likes and comments because I will answer them. I normally do. Thank you. Bye bye.